14.
Yeah, he went into service in 1939. He enlisted.
I can remember seeing
Because him and Mug Hendricks, Ernest Hendricks, they called him Mug, they got into it with McIntosh. And what was his name?
T.E.
T.E. And they got into it with him. And
That was the superintendent.
Superintendent. And he came home and said he's going to either hit McIntosh or he's going to join the Army. Well, Mom wouldn't let him hit McIntosh, but Mom wouldn't sign for him. He wasn't but 18. And Norman signed for him to go in.
He went to St. Louis and got Norman to sign.
He had to be 21?
Yeah. Norman signed for him, and he went to Jefferson Barracks and enlisted.
No, you had to be 18, didn't you?
He was 18. He was 18.
But did you have to be 21 then?
I guess so, because he had to sign for him.
Because this all happened when he was 23.
And he went to Jefferson Barracks, and he stayed there for a boot or whatever they had for a couple, maybe 6, 7, 8 weeks. Then he went to North Carolina, to Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg?
Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and stayed there, probably 6 months to 10 months, something like that. And then they transferred him to Fort Knox, Kentucky, I believe. And he stayed there and then went on to Georgia. He went to Fort Benning, Georgia.
Was he training for anything specific at that time?
Well, we didn't know it, but he was training for this African safari in Atlanta, Georgia. And then when that was finished, they was going overseas. Well, they shipped him back to Fort Bragg, and that's where he went out at. He started out at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, he
wasn't but 17. He'd be 18 his birthday.
Yeah.
And that's when Dodd signed for him. And Dodd always regretted that.
And then he went to.
He went to right. See, he had all his training and everything. They shipped him naturally when the war broke out. They shipped him, immediately because he had all of his basic training.
And he went to North Carolina, and he went through the North African campaign, all the way to Sicily.
And he was, at that time, even from the beginning, he was with the 2nd Armored Division.
He stayed with them the whole time. And then they...
And it was a 41st Infantry Division, or Infantry Regiment. Was there any other kind of special training that he did?
Not that we know of.
Like a rifle squad, or?
Not that we know
no
of.
idea. I don't even.
His name is supposed to be on that.
He was a cook. I know that.
Yeah, he cooked.
I've seen one picture had he's an MP.
Yeah, and then he was an MP.
And he was a cook because he came home, and I remember him cooking French fries, but I'd never had them, like he done. And that's the only time I can remember. They were over at Gillham's making
those
mattresses. And yeah, I can remember that one time.
But he was still in the United States in 1941 because him and that boy came down in a new car. Came down in a new car. This boy had gotten a new car. 1941 black Chevrolet. His mother and dad bought it for him for Christmas and had a great big red bow tied around it. And he went out to look at the boy.
No, he was assigned to something else too.
See, I was only 16.
Yeah,
so
I was about 13. I don't remember much. I don't remember any but one time.
Do you remember about when he went into Africa? Well, I guess he was in the initial landing.
Yeah, he was in the initial.
In Casablanca, around in that area.
Yeah, no, where was it, Marco?
No.
Monaco? Not Monaco.
Morocco. I'm sure he was. What?
Morocco.
No,
Morocco.
He probably was in the Tripoli landing. I'm guessing.
I thought they said Morocco. Is that right on the coast?
He wasn't there in Casablanca because the timing would have been wrong.
I think he went to Morocco. Is that right on the coast?
He wasn't there till 43.
No, sooner than that.
No, not North Africa. No.
Well, yeah, that's right. He didn't go overseas. When did the war break out?
Well, I don't know.
41.
In the 30s, but 41.
He didn't go in early. I mean, he went in 42, as far as I know.
You mean North Africa?
Well, yeah, but I mean, he went into the military.
He went in the military in 39.
Well, I know, but I'm telling you that he did not go overseas.
No.
Until either late 41 or.
Well, how long did he stayed with the whole North African campaign?
We didn't have that many troops. We didn't have that many troops in Europe till mid-1942. I mean, they talk about the war going on for 4 years, but we didn't have a lot of troops there for a long time.
Well, I think they landed in Africa in 40. I think it was 42.
It was late 42 when they made.
Well,
but you don't think there's any possibility?
I don't think he was there in the first group.
I think he went right. That was where he first went to.
It's pretty easy. You can find out. Just find the regimental history, and it'll show you exactly when he went in. Because it'll, and there's a regimental history on the website for just about every unit
Right.
in the first, second, third armors. You
No, well, he's a buff on that, so he knows about that.
The stories in the armored brigades and the armored divisions were outstanding. Now, some others didn't do that good a job with their regimental histories and their brigade history.
Guess you haven't seen Mark in a long time, have you?
No,
No,
probably.
black eye especially.
Your
He
dad
says he fell, you know,
Well, you
but I don't know
Second
what
Armored.
happened.
that your dad made
Probably
that case for me.
Oh, really?
Probably
Yeah,
well-written
Yeah, your dad made that for
division
me.
history, I'm sure.
So,
I do. I have the website for the. I kind of knew from the tombstone what he might have been in. And I did find the 41st Regiment already, but I didn't spend a whole lot of time reading it because
You know,
I
the
wasn't
funny
sure it was it. But it's a pretty elaborate website.
41st, the 41st. I think late in by 1865, the 41st had already come into existence. Believe it or not.
By when?
It had been in existence, I think, for about 85 or 90 years. The 41st.
Well, Kansas State beat him 35-3.
Yeah,
You know what it
something.
says?
but
Oh, yeah.
Some of those,
You know,
some of
we
those
were-
regiments weren't that old. They were created. But my understanding is the 41st was one of the original
but
non-volunteer regiments.
he went to Georgia to get ready to
The
go into
3rd and
Africa.
1st have been around for a long time.
Yes.
The-
Yeah, 31st, 41st, 139th, and a few others.
You know, Mark, I kind of think that his group might have went along about the same time Patton did, but he wasn't
Well,
with them.
the Third Armor didn't get out of North Africa till the Sicily campaign. That's what really happened. The reason all those guys didn't go out of Sicily was Patton just moved so fast. You know, I mean, Patton cut that campaign down by about 2.5 months.
He apparently went across the Mediterranean to Sicily. Never did go into Italy and all.
No, he didn't go
But a
into
lot of them at the point of Sicily went over to Europe to prepare for the.
Went over
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the England
That's
and
the thing.
For one thing,
What they
Patton
did
was
back
pulled at that time. Patton was pulled out
Of
partly
Sicily.
because he was in trouble at the time.
Yeah, he
but
got
partly
fired.
he was the diversion.
He and Bradley were fighting. Well, actually, Bradley was
Here's
having
some
the
more
referee
pictures
thing
of
with
him.
Montgomery.
Yeah,
They were running as quick as they could up both sides trying to get there.
It says
This is
Patton
the guy
to
that had the
England to
car,
get
come
ready
in the
for
car.
D-Day.
Oh, yeah.
They
Patton
expected.
was really the diversion. He was up close to, I think it was the Pas de Calais,
Yeah.
and all the Germans thought if anybody's going to lead the invasion, it's going to be Patton. So the Pas de Calais was the closest point. So that was the most obvious point for the D-Day landing to occur. That's where all the fortification was. So whenever they come down to Normandy, which is way down the coast, even after the diversion was so good that even hours after the landings had started, Hitler thought there was still a diversion, so he couldn't move all those troops. He was kind of stuck. He couldn't send all those troops down because he still thought they were going to be coming across.
He had 10 Tiger divisions that he held back and just basically didn't use them before it was all over.
He
got
moved.
snookered.
I wasn't aware that when they went into Normandy Bay that there was a lot of fences or something out in the water.
Hedgerows.
Hedgerows.
Oh,
out
fences.
in the water,
Oh, fences.
yeah.
Well, I forgot what they call them. They're
I don't know what they called them, but
kind of angle arm things for
and-
boats to run into.
Well,
Schlesinger started this deal with a monument over there and sent notices out, and I sent $50, and I don't think they ever got it off the ground. And
There's a
did they finally get it
Oh,
built?
yeah.
Did they? And I sent my sister in Texas sent 50, and they said, well, some of them. Ruchi said, well, you don't have any idea it'll ever get there. I said, well, if it doesn't, I tried. I
Well, you
didn't.
didn't have a lot of money invested in
That's
it.
what I said. I tried. I wanted his name on it. If they put up a monument, I wanted his name
I
on
haven't
it.
seen any money.
Do you know that he was involved with the D-Day landing?
He wasn't.
Oh yes, he was on D-Day. Yes, he was.
He was not there on the first 3 days. I promise you. I don't think so.
He went in on D-Day. Yes, he did,
Well,
Mark.
he
Well, so some of that stuff
It may have been the
say he
third.
did.
We were always told he went in on D-Day.
I don't think it. Well, he did, but that's if you think of D-Day, you think of going in on the first wave or the second wave. Okay, that's only 2 waves. In fact, the good part of
Well, not just first and second wave. If you were there on the first day,
well,
you're
you got
in
a
deep
campaign.
trouble.
You got a campaign thing, but I'm just telling you that he was not in the first or second wave that went ashore.
Well, I didn't. I thought he was, but I don't know. I mean, that part I don't know. But I know he was up there.
Yeah, stuff
But it
was
was-
in the first.
But it wasn't like a month later.
Oh, no,
Oh,
no, no.
no,
It's
no.
like I think he went in maybe on the third day.
Do you know what army he was with? Like first or?
No, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I never
Didn't
paid
that
much
stuff
attention.
say what army
What's the
is in the
I don't know.
second
Well,
army or
but
third,
you
third
gotta
army
remember,
was
the second might have
Patton?
been
Third
his
army was
son.
Patton.
Where is it?
But
Yeah, he didn't come in
probably
until
would
like
have been
July
different
or
depending on-
August.
What's this thing right there?
Here?
This
Here?
thing.
I think that's just
Well,
when I
well,
ordered
Hitler
this,
put
the
a
mod
little,
What you
thing.
ordered?
Rommel down there in France, you know, when it started at D-Day, and put him down there, and
Actually, he was
then
in
he
charge.
finally got
That's
into
what
with
that is.
Rommel, and Rommel committed suicide finally.
Well,
Well, Rommel was
Well, maybe
encouraged
what
to
that
commit
man
suicide.
wrote.
Either
Maybe
commit
the man
suicide
wrote,
or
or
he'd
his
been shot.
family, or else his family was going to be.
I don't know.
Because Hitler thought Rommel was part of the conspiracy.
Yeah.
They tried to
Yeah.
put a bomb next
He
to
got
him.
afraid of him, didn't he?
Rommel.
After
Well, he
all
got
that-
paranoid of everybody at a certain
After done
point.
that, all that good work in Africa. Hey, he was tough over in Africa, Rommel was.
Oh, yeah.
He
On
was
D-Day, Rommel was in Paris, and
Right.
wasn't at the front. And in fact, it was his front, but he was in Paris.
Now, this was the insignia on his shoulder. I
Oh,
remember.
okay, great. Yeah, I've
was the
seen that
insignia.
before.
That's the insignia on his, that was the
Hell on
patch.
Wheels, yeah, that's the
Hell
name.
on
That's their
Wheels.
nickname. I guess you call it a nickname, or
Yeah, hell on
Yeah.
wheels. And
Second
that came,
army.
that
We
came
had
from
two.
this
We had
Louis
two.
Bogart
We had-
that was with him. He was taking that letter. I had written him a letter asking if anybody knew of anyone that had survived it. You know, that was still around that we could get information. And he wrote me this back. And that was the insignia.
Normally, MPs went in late in a burst.
You think he was an MP for a while,
Oh, I
huh?
know he was in France. I know he was. By that time.
He was a cook in the States.
things change. That's one thing I find out. Things, just because
Well,
you
that-
find that
once
somebody's
they
something
went-
at one point, a week later, they could be
Well,
in
once
another
they go on
division,
combat,
or
once they go on combat readiness,
from
then
Emerson.
then your whole job will probably change.
Yeah, he made
Most
him.
people were doubly and triply trained.
he wouldn't be. Would they even have MPs? They wouldn't have MPs with an invasion.
Oh
type
no,
thing,
no,
right?
no.
No, I think the MP thing was
They have
at
an
Fort
MP
Knox.
assigned unit.
Yeah, that was probably
That's
way
what
earlier.
the MP was down when he was at
For
Fort Knox.
cooking too. He done the cooking
Well,
too.
I think he probably did some of that too, because the incident
See, I got a
occurred at
picture of him.
Crossroads.
We got a picture of him in MP.
Yeah, but the incident where he got taken into the tank was actually he was guarding a crossroads, and that's what the MP did.
Now, when he got captured, he probably wasn't an MP.
Well,
or
see,
cook
what
or
happened
none of
was,
He got taken by the tank.
what
he was guarding
happened
crossroads.
was, he stayed
In
with
France.
he let the troops back, the guys behind him back up, and he stayed with the gun, and he kept shooting until
Without the ammunition.
all of his ammunition was gone.
Well, he has this rifle. This is rifle infantry, or
Yeah.
like a rifle company.
Yeah,
It was a
So-
rifle company.
and they said
A lot of guys
then they
got that,
captured
didn't
him, and
Well, if you're in a
that's,
rifle company, not a lot of them got that. But if you're in a rifle company, you're in serious.
No, and when he questioned,
Serious
he was,
business.
time he got in, he was in some very serious combat in France,
Oh,
and in
yes.
northern Africa too.
oh yeah, and but he let the guys, all the troops behind him, that I guess he was, he
You
went,
know very many guys that just now getting their medals. Every once in a while you hear somebody that's been all that time over there, and 50 years later just down getting
Guy
their
last
medals.
week in the post I read about.
Yeah, that's happening.
this
all
is
the
a
time.
list of those things that I got. I had to pay $15.70 for them. That wasn't too bad.
And when you wrote this in, they knew what you gave them, his name and serial number,
Yeah.
and they had on record what he was supposed
Yeah,
to get. Them.
and he hadn't gotten anything but the Purple Heart.
Silver Star, Bronze Star, Purple Heart, ribbon PUC. Well, I don't know what that is.
PUC. Oh,
Meritorious Unit Commendation. I think that might be something that goes to the whole unit.
Everybody got one of them, didn't they?
Silver Star, I have to check that out, but I think that's really close,
Who
right underneath the.
had 5 rattlesnakes?
Honor,
I never noticed. Is that Silver Star with cluster or without?
Just says Silver Star.
Then it's just a straight Silver Star.
But they got
I know a guy who has Silver Star with 3 clusters.
Which,
That's
what does that
about
mean? You got 3 of them?
Well, that's right. 3 Silver
they don't
Stars.
give 3 stars.
Watch it.
they
Only
just
one
give-
other thing you can get.
After
Well, you
Silver,
can get a congressional 2 ways, but
he got
most of
some-
the time they came out of a single incident.
Is the Silver Star better than the Bronze?
Oh yeah.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know that.
This
what's there
pretty.
between the Silver Star and the Medal of Honor.
You can get a Bronze Star with cluster. You can get a Bronze Star with cluster.
No, but what's above Silver Star?
There's nothing.
Medal of
Medal of
Honor.
Honor?
Well,
That's
yeah, well, you can put clusters on them, that's all. I mean, they can, most of the time, most Congressional Medal of Honor winners don't get them that way. That's just not the way it works. They get them for single incidents most of the time. That's funny how Congressional Medal of Honors were started, though. You know how they were started?
In the Civil War.
Yeah, but you know how they were started early in the Civil War?
Oh, I read
Capturing colors.
Oh, well.
If you were identified as capturing a Confederate color, you got a Congressional Medal of Honor. Well, that didn't work out real well because before you know it, they had hundreds of Congressional Medals of Honor. So everybody that got those, they reverted them back to another. They still say that they're a Medal of Honor winner, but they don't.
They don't want to get into it, though.
No.
You ever did work on the Civil War?
No.
I'm reading a book now. I've had for several years. Just now reading it on combat in the Civil War. It's a guy's put together a lot of. It's pretty good.
And there weren't that many actually CMHs given.
I was really surprised
I mean, the ones
that we ended up with as much
fewer than 100
information and
I think you have a lot of information here
kept
compared to what most people probably have.
and kept. I mean, I don't know why. And honestly, I don't know why I kept it. Well, I guess I kept it because of him, but I mean, I don't know how it ended up that way. But now here's that's the one they put in there with that one. Neil put in.
Oh, this is a postcard. Now, did they make postcards from?
Now I
Do you
think
recognize somebody in here?
Hap. This is Hap right here.
Oh, could they make postcards then out of photographs? I guess.
Oh no, but this is him right there.
Okay.
I think what happened is that every unit did that, and then they just made, and then each unit would give those cards out to the guys to send home in lieu of having writing letters. And
I cleaned out that desk this week, and I found the autograph of Catholic, couple autographs of Catholic Grace.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's two of them. And I found Tom Mix's autograph. And some more actresses. Most of them I never heard of.
So.
Well, this one guy's a Cherokee.
Wasn't that letter?
Well, what you got there, Polly?
Huh?
What's that?
That's a
Is
letter.
it a letter?
Let me have that front
From
page.
whom?
Huh?
From Pat?
No, it's from a buddy, whatever his name is.
Oh, the guys in service.
But, yeah,
83.
And he was your older brother, so you didn't really ever talk to him too much.
He was not the oldest. Norman was the oldest one. He's third down the line.
Yeah,
He says my knowledge
See,
of war practice I learned from my Cherokee brothers before entering
six boys.
military
Norman
duty.
was the oldest, and then Homer, Ham we called him, and then Hap. And then, of course, after that it was John and Mutt and Lot. So he was right in the middle. He was 23 is all he was when he got killed.
Yeah, he went into the military pretty early.
So he had at least 4 years in the military.
Yeah.
already.
He was in long before the
I
war.
should, yeah, I think he completed one tour of duty. I think he re-upped before he went overseas. He was at Fort Benning. He spent a lot of time at Fort Benning.
He left out of Fort Bragg, North
Fort
Carolina.
Knox or
He
Fort
was at
Benning?
Fort Benning and Fort Knox.
Yeah. and
Oh,
then-
did you already have a recent article in the Independent Journal about this?
Yeah, I put that in. When
How
I
long-
got these.
How long ago?
Well, whenever I got these
Yeah.
things here. See, what does that
No,
It's
say?
been 10 or 12
Yeah.
years.
No, hasn't been that long.
Let me see here.
When did you get these?
I
about
got
7 or 8 years
5'3".
ago?
Well, no, wait a minute.
Okay. That's
87.
Told you it's been about 10,
June the
12
6th,
years.
19th, 87.
It's been.
Well, it's
it's
been
12.
13 years then.
Yeah, I knew it been quite a while. See, Uncle Dodd didn't get his till 1990.
He got a Bronze Star.
He got his Bronze Star. 91.
So whatever, Mike, you see that you think you can use while you take it. And
I have access to probably to the 100 and the regimental history. I can probably get that pretty easy.
Will you go out to the library and get that?
Oh yeah. World War,
You haven't
see,
asked
World War
for
II
it.
stuff. Missouri State Historical Society keeps pretty well all of those.
And you go over there, you've been over there quite a bit?
Oh yeah, it's been tons of times.
Missouri State Historical
It's on
Society.
Skinker. It's between,
Is that in
You
Forest Park?
can just take
No, it's
that
not.
copy.
What's that in Forest Park?
You just take
well,
that
that's a Missouri Historical Society, but that's not their library.
Okay.
Their library is located in a former Jewish temple on the west side of Skinker, about halfway between WashU and Clayton Road. If you make a right at Skinker, right there at Clayton and Skinker, you know where the big Standard Oil sign is?
Yeah.
Okay, just make a right turn here and go north. It's about 3 blocks on the left. Oh, but I do spend tons of time there for Civil War history. And actually, what else I do there? I do done a lot of research there on
This is just where I got
William H. Ashley.
On what?
On a guy named William H. Ashley. Ever heard of a group of he led 2 expeditions of mountain men in the non-river access into Utah and Colorado and southern Idaho. They were called Ashley Henry.
He lived in Tulsa at one time, didn't he?
Yeah, 15 years he lived in Texas. He was the other half of the Moses Austin. Moses Austin mined the lead from the shot, and Ashley mined the saltpeter from him.
You might be interested in making a
Really
copy of
important
this
guy
too.
in
That
United
is that.
States history.
That is that dedication that we
Really
had up
is
here in
that.
'90.
He lived in Toasting
Mark
for
had
12
said
years.
here
Of
that
Oh, this
this
was
guy
the
says
thing.
here
Yeah.
that during the next 12 months, we would have reported this was happening or more times in North Africa. I shall explain in my next letter. He said he'd rather been around the rattlesnakes and Patton evidently said I would rather face the rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
Patton wasn't
Patton, he was something
Very
else.
Patton, huh?
Tom had Patton, he does, yeah.
Yeah, those are good quotes that make a good article. Right?
Yeah, right.
Because they went to this church, see.
Well, this is full of it. That's
Really?
what
They
she's
went to
reading,
this
yeah.
church and
You
they
have
was
to
there singing
decipher
and
it.
that, and this guy
I have to
had
He
his-
rolled
and
up
he had
with
the door
big
blocked.
paper, huh?
He had the door blocked
Yeah,
with
this
the
is a letter
rattlesnakes and
from
they had to go out
a
and win.
buddy that was with him. Been writing about the 3 of them,
Yeah.
Rogers and this guy and Hat.
Wonder why.
All the things they got into, huh?
Well, yeah, and they,
No,
he got-
I mean, it's really got a lot of information
And I'm
in there
sure it
about
must
what
be
he
so
done.
because otherwise, back then, I don't think he
said
would have
they had
made
to go
any
out and
much
win
up
about
because
28 by 26
this man,
because
that
the
when
guy
I
with the
talked to him
rattlesnakes
on
had
the
door
phone,
blocked.
he acted a little bit disturbed, didn't he, Linda? Or did you? You didn't talk to him, did you? But he still was pretty vocal on everything and knew pretty well what he was talking about.
Yeah, he said, wait a minute, his mother evidently his mother must have been something, the way he talked about her. My mother makes arrangements for me. I can tell you when she makes a telephone call to every military base I've been assigned to. A man would either be a sissy or a dummy to listen to either one or both of my parents. I am neither one of these, and you and John had better agree that he's talking to Hap and this John fella, that he's not a sissy. Tell me now, or I'll never speak to you friends again. It won't be a friend off duty and another soldier on duty. He's straighten them out. They call
Where
him.
do you live, that guy?
I don't know.
Kentucky's one of them I talked to. It's Kentucky.
Well, does that library have, I'm looking for photos, like around 40,
Oh,
45, around,
You ought to
Washington
go there.
County
It's
area.
an amazing place. I mean, I've spent hours. I've spent days there. I mean, I've been known to get there at 9 o'clock in the morning, not leave till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, I do a lot of Civil War history stuff, and and they've got every volume of the Rebellion, which is the huge 30-some odd
That'd be like
volumes.
They got the official
There's
record.
over
Yeah.
official
Yeah.
records.
Yeah.
The official records of the Rebellion
Roger
has
would join
over
in and he just walked around mumbling.
over 8,000 pages.
Hap and Rogers
And,
got me pointed in the
But
right
I've done
direction
tons
during
of
the
stuff
next
like that.
few
Most of the
hours.
big
If I
colleges
had
have
been a
that
drinking
now,
man, I
what you're
suppose
talking
I would
Yeah,
have
the
gotten
Historical
drunk
Society's
that
excellent.
day.
Cape had it in 1960.
They have stuff that are written back in the 1790s and 1900s.
Holly, when was that
They've
written?
got tons of
Do
stuff
you know?
Yes, it's
on
up
older
Let's see
St.
what
Louis
it
history,
says. I don't know
like
what
the
it
Rocky
says.
Mountain
Did he
Fur
date the
Company,
letter?
the American
53,
Fur
I
Company,
think.
Oh,
the,
September
St. Louis Fur
23rd,
Company.
83.
'83.
You know,
Yeah.
lots of people are involved in those. Ashley
He
was
had
involved
pretty
in
good
St.
memory,
Louis for a
didn't he?
while.
Yeah, neither
Well,
had
actually, he was a founding member of
or
Rocky
John
Mountain for a
drank
and broke
anything
off in his
stronger
own
than
company.
coffee, so I knew that we were going
Well,
to remain
he's
friends.
missing the history of Missouri quite a bit.
It wasn't half on the drunk, was it?
No,
Then,
Yeah,
then French
The
people
junior
gave
high
him
school
some
honor
cognac,
society
so I
goes
put him to
to
bed.
chapter
He got a little
Name
something.
brand.
of the National Honor Society, Junior National.
If they'd have found him with that disguise on and the dog tag in his shoe, they'd have killed him as a spy. He knew that. But first house he went to, they made signs, and he couldn't understand them, but they made signs that the German front was pretty close. So he went on to another one, and they're the ones that took him in and took care of him. And then he was able, just within the next morning, they woke him up, I think, and told him that the American lines were coming in closer, and he got back to them that way. I believe that was in the letter. I'm sure it was.
You show him his dog tags?
That's
We
not
didn't
his
get no
dog
dog
tag.
tag.
That's the plate that came off of his casket when they
Oh.
shipped, when he's,
Well, not his dog tags.
when he was dug up. That's, I
Yeah.
thought it was, but then I got looking at it, no, it's not his dog
that
tag.
goes with it.
Yeah.
Wasn't his dog tag.
And do you know where he was in France whenever he got killed?
Yeah, it's in one of the letters here. It's in one of the letters.
Yeah,
In one of the telegrams, maybe, Mike,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It told, but it's something.
It's in one of the letters to the telegram. Probably a telegram. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see here. It may have been in a telegram.
You
I'm thinking
know
about
what
it, wasn't
cemetery
Did
he
I
was
give you
in
the-
France?
Yeah, he's got.
No, no.
No, he was in a temporary cemetery. They had lots
It's in
of
one of the telegrams, I think.
That's
Or
done.
a letter that I got from
There's
him or
still,
something.
there's still some people in those cemeteries in Bastogne.
Well, the relatives didn't want to
They
bring
didn't want to bring
him
them home.
Mm.
They wouldn't pay to bring them home.
We didn't have to bring them.
Some up, well, but later on, they made them pay.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. If you wanted to bring them home, I think it was after 48 or 49.
They'd bring home for free.
Up
That's
to
the
that
point.
point, they'd bring them home for free. But it was sometime shortly before Korea.
Now,
They quit paying.
Well, this was when he was in Sicily.
Looks
that what
like
it says?
Yeah, yeah. And that's an MP thing, isn't it?
now
And
this,
that's, my understanding was that once he went overseas, he was an MP.
My dad was saying that he thought MPs was one of the worst jobs to have.
Oh, it
because they're
was?
standing there, they're a target out there.
Well, not only
here's
that.
another letter
An
I
MP
got.
up by the front lines.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm
wow.
saying. If you were
I
in
guess they had them
if you
everywhere,
had a
didn't
crossroads position, I want to tell you what, it was a dangerous place because those things had a tendency to change hands. You know, they could change hands 3 or
One
4
of the
times a
letters
day.
tells us where he was killed.
Said you're
Now, maybe the
you
MP
might
get run out of a-
to track
you might get
that
run out of
hand
a-
and you spelled it A-U-N-T.
And see, all the MPs
Yeah.
almost all the MPs were in machine gun units. I mean, that's what they were assigned to, and so they, you know, it was a
They
dangerous job.
tested me on firearms as well.
Another thing too with the MPs, a lot of them they took the. Now I don't know why they were taking
There's
him,
another
but
picture,
a lot of times
right?
they took MPs because they spoke a foreign language.
I
That
was
was important.
lucky to have
Particularly if
This
they
is
spoke
just
German
a
or French.
thing of-
something professional.
You know,
One
here
of
they-
these letters that I've given you,
Here it says near St. Martin and.
is that where the letter is?
Saint Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it
Saint
is.
Martin's is in what's it called that?
In France. See?
That's
Well,
one
I
of the
can't tell if
villages.
that's. I guess that's C. No,
You
it's
want
an
to look
O.
up St. Martin? I get my
Here,
my
here's
maps
the
in there. And
buff,
we'll
right
look
there.
up,
Read
find
that
out
first
Well,
where it is.
I know where it is.
Yeah, I've seen that, but I couldn't make out that word.
I can't make out that word either. I don't know if that's a C or an O.
But what is, we gotta, haven't we got
That's one
a,
of the. If you remember Saint Martin,
Sinale? Was that how you pronounce it?
Saint Alay, they were in the
Saint-Alay?
same. Remember when Hanks and them are going to that one village at Saint Martin. In Saint Alay, you had to go through Saint Alay to get to Saint Martin.
Probably I figure this John Rogers is the
Actually,
Indian.
in that movie.
Is the Indian?
That's who I think
Yeah.
it is, yeah.
Says he's a Cherokee blood, didn't he?
But
Oh,
this is where he was in the tank. Though.
She's sitting here playing.
Yeah, that's when he was
This
in
is
the
about
tank.
where he
Oh,
got
no,
captured.
Yeah.
he said, my knowledge of war practice I learned from my Cherokee brothers before entering military duty.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's from Rogers, Arkansas.
That knowledge.
Because that's where a lot of the Cherokee ended up in Rogers, Arkansas.
Well, I hope I've given you
It's
something.
Jane's
Oh,
secrets of winning a fight with
Whatever,
that.
just sort out what you want and take it, and then you can.
He was an interesting fellow. He wasn't very big, though. Little bitty guy.
He looks like about 5, 6, or
He
7.
wasn't any
5,
bigger than
6, or
that.
7. He wasn't any bigger than that. And he was always the type of guy that's why they called him Hap. He never got out of sorts.
He wasn't built thin though.
No, he was
No, he was
chunky.
pretty stocky.
He was
He
stocky like Dad.
Dodd
He was stocky
too.
like
Your
Dad.
was too.
Yeah, but I believe Hack was stockier than Dodd.
Oh, he was much
Yeah.
stockier.
This is-
He's more built more like Mutt.
Yeah,
one here.
him and Mutt was, him and
Well,
Mutt were
well,
pretty much the same.
This one was Grandpa's dress hat. Patent number.
Norman was a stocky guy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
not like Hap.
Not like Hap.
Not Hap.
Hap
Dad
was a
was,
rock,
more
man.
stocky.
yeah, Dad, they were stocky built.
Uncle Dodd, when he was younger, wasn't that.
Uh-uh.
He bulked up when he went in the military.
Yeah, but he was not that way. So, whatever, Mike. I don't, maybe you can get it, make some sense out of some of it.
Uncle Dodd got really bulked up when he came back and started working in the mills.
He said here that he was.
Uncle
he was
who?
Uncle Dodd.
Norman. they called him.
Norman, they used to
Dodd.
drive the
The
bus.
test for the
He got-
OCS.
they all
was
had
a
nicknames.
94. This
Yeah.
guy's no dummy, is he?
Uh-uh.
But he refused to leave my friends except for short periods of time.
Except John.
So
John
I
didn't have
chose
any
no
nickname.
special training.
Did he?
John didn't have a nickname.
Earl, his nickname is Mutt. And Homer was Ham.
You take what you want of the pictures and just what you don't think you can use while you leave them with me.
You know, the real funny thing that happened, one of the reasons that a lot of those guys were in Sicily and they were going to be in the second wave going into Italy, and heck, they didn't get challenged. I mean, there wasn't anybody waiting for them on those Italian beaches. You know, they just weren't there, and they didn't really hit opposition until they got halfway up the boot. And that's why Patton got the big advantage, because Montgomery hit the opposition a lot quicker than Patton did. Because Patton was just a diversion.
Here's this is not
And
new.
of course-
You might stick them in there, keep them getting them mixed up.
Yeah.
You know, everybody always thinks about Patton being so
Yeah.
fast.
What else?
It took him 8 days to go 100 miles to Bastogne.
Yeah, you got it.
8 days.
I gave you a copy of this letter. Yeah, you got a copy.
He
of
couldn't
it.
make
I made
12
several
miles a
copies
day
because I thought,
in
well,
that snow going back into
something
Bastogne.
along the way they might get lost. But I
This
did.
old boy was smart.
Oh, where's this one from?
That's his. He was I guess high school.
Lefty.
10th
Now,
grade, 9th or 10th grade.
What do you remember about him at the youngest things that you can remember? Before
He was
in
a
the
reader. He read all the time.
Mhm.
Dad would tell him to go out and do something or other, and he'd never get the job done because Hap read. He loved to read. He read all
Him
the
like
time.
to read too.
But he read a lot. Just different,
Him
nothing
read.
in particular, like he might read this book.
Mine, take that letter.
Yeah,
that
take
Jess
the letter.
got, 'cause
Yeah.
it's got a lot of
Yeah,
information in
it's,
it.
I mean, it's some of
Yeah,
it you
take
hardly
this, Mike.
read.
Yeah.
Boy, he wrote on
That old
big
boy
paper,
was,
didn't
that old boy was smart.
Did they play sports or?
No. See, we didn't have any sports at Belgrade then, did we, Polly?
Oh, yeah, you had
Well,
we had
not
a
much.
team.
Basketball.
You had track teams
Yeah, but
during
he
the
wasn't in any of
1930s.
that. He wasn't in any of that, no.
You didn't play basketball or
He
football.
went to school his junior year.
Baseball.
Sharon was asking me,
His
how many,
junior year.
who's up here at this now? I mean, what are they planning on doing? Are they going to put those are going to be all elementary over there at the,
No, it's
at the giant
K
hemorrhoids,
through
I
2
call
is going to be up here.
A through 2. That's what's
K
through 2. Okay.
yeah.
And they're going to put
3 through 6 is going to
3
be
through 6 there.
in that.
Dome.
Yeah, in that in the
And
dome.
Dolly
The
Parton's
hemorrhoids.
In
No,
huh?
Dolly Parton's booty.
Dolly-
I call them hemorrhoids. There's 3 of them. I don't know
Well,
why.
there's another one
I'm
extra.
surprised
I don't know what we call the
somebody
third one, but the other two look like that.
Well,
Oh,
I
they'll
figured
climb it.
I figured they would about Halloween. But they
They're
didn't.
talking about climbing
I
right
thought
up
they
at.
climbed.
the-
I thought
They
they
will.
painted.
They'll put suction cups on and they'll climb right up them things. You wait and see. They're already talking about it. There's rumors up at the station
Sure they
and up
will.
at Dickey's.
And
there's
probably
all
put
kinds of
graffiti on it.
Well, they
They
will.
have to do that. What they ought to do with them, they ought to put some
Have you got
barrier
this copy-
about
this-
10
this
feet up
article?
on them.
Oh, what
And
was
Well, I thought this is how smart I was when I looked
That
at
was
those
one- the
diagrams.
picture's no good,
I
but that's
thought
the
you're
article.
going to have a wall like this
I have
up
the-
so
I have this
high,
one,
Yeah.
and
so-
then put the
I have
dome
I have a
on it.
couple
It
copies.
just
Yeah.
Okay,
wasted.
go look at that score now, 40,
See, look how
49.
much wasted space there is, Paul.
Get some other ball
Why
game
can't you?
on there.
Why wouldn't they build an upright 8 feet and
That's
then
no
do everything
good.
else around it? You'd have gotten so much more space. Because basically, what it is you go up on that thing. You don't
lose-
really have anything
you haven't
inside
got
till you
anything.
get.
You haven't got anything down
Down
underneath
here.
here. only a good place to hide.
You know, well, I guess they will use it for storage, probably.
Yeah, I think that's what they're telling
I
us.
assume that
That was in service.
Well, that would be,
I
you
don't-
could use it
that
for
was in
that,
a-
but
that
why
picture
would you
came
use it?
off of
You
a
could have put another
huge
full classroom in.
roll, how the
Yeah.
whole
Because of that.
group
Because
was
you've
in.
lost all
Okay.
that other
And,
space.
Yeah.
They took
And every
that
time I
picture
go
off.
I mean, if you
by,
run-
have
They
you been
made
by
Mom
Redwood's
a
new?
picture off of it. Some man
Oh,
came
it's
by
beautiful.
and made a
Their
picture.
high
Jess
school
has the
is
picture.
beautiful.
Well, you know,
They
Jess.
sold a picture in the frames all
Uh-huh.
together. They
It seemed
took
like
that
a
And
out.
lot
I think
of
then
them
it was
do.
$30.
I mean, even
It
if
was
you
a
only moved the
horrible
wall up,
price.
This is the whole
4
group,
feet.
though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
And then you do it from
It was
that,
taken off the
you'd
group.
get
And
back
they made it.
almost 2/3 of your space.
Yeah.
They
Because you only have to
made
have
her a
about
picture
7
and the
feet
frame
on the
for
walkway.
$30, and she
Well, they
had it
lost
made,
it.
and that was a
I
lot of
don't
money
know.
then.
What's this now?
And
We're
that's a
talking about
copy?
costing a lot of money? Oh, that's
This
This
pictures.
is just a copy.
Yeah.
This is the original.
This is
Yeah.
a copy. I mean,
Actually, that's pretty good the way they blew it up back then. You know,
yeah,
a lot
they
of
did
those
it.
was.
So
Yeah,
whatever.
they could do a lot with black and white.
It's a good picture of his face, but it didn't show his military.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't
no.
military.
Well, they painted, colored the picture too.
Yeah, they
So it's
tinted it.
So he wasn't like a scrapper. You'd think he was like a scrapper or something.
No,
Because-
he wasn't.
No,
He
white
was,
side was
no,
like
he
that.
was even far from that. He was
No,
real.
he wasn't.
He was
wasn't
easy
like that.
going.
Because it takes a lot of courage to pull out
Yeah,
a
he
knife
was-
and get
yeah.
yourself out.
He was
With
on-
five Germans, 5
survival.
other people.
Survival came about. That's
Well,
what it was.
I guess.
By that time, he'd been in the military long enough that he probably a lot of the early stuff was not, you know. He'd been through 2 campaigns by that time. Theoretically, Sicily was a campaign.
But he was not.
One of the things I can't figure out is
He's
why
easy
he
to
didn't
get
go
along
over
with.
early on. I've never figured that one out. I would have thought that they would have sent those guys who had been in over early, but they didn't.
They weren't ready. That's why.
Well, but they'd been in.
Our
Their
army
units were,
was pathetic. By the time when they bombed Pearl Harbor, we really had very little. to
Yeah,
fight.
Well, we only really had one armored division.
We were buying
Yeah.
time, is what they were doing.
Yeah, but I would have thought they would have been the first ones to go, and they would have been trying to develop from there. But he didn't go overseas. I think if you go look, I think you'll find that the 1st and the 3rd went overseas before the 2nd did. I think they were the last division to go. But now they could have been training a lot. They could have been using those guys as training people.
I know Leroy Nichols was well, actually, when he went over, I'm just going by what I got from other guys. He landed in Casablanca. Well, they say Casablanca. Really, it's Morocco.
Morocco.
They're
That's where
within-
Hap went in.
I think it's like 20 or 75 miles or something from Casablanca.
Hap went in on Morocco. That's where it was.
And when by the time he got there, all the main things had been over. But I have a book on the third Infantry Division, and they actually did. They were the first ones in. Called it Operation Torch, I think. And they're the ones that actually landed and cleared it out. But it didn't take all that long, I think, and they moved across to Tunisia. So a lot of them came in there later. But probably the roughest part of World War II, I think, was in Italy.
Yeah, but
If you're one of those guys in Italy, you don't get a lot of credit, but you suffered more than anybody else.
Particularly in the, late in that Italian campaign.
Yeah, it's Clark's
It got
army,
pretty
wasn't it?
darn bad.
Laying there.
Right.
It started
Woody
pretty
picked
easy.
up
It didn't end very
dead,
easy, I can tell you
wounded.
that.
Well,
In
they
fact,
got
we darn
on
near got our butts kicked back into the ocean.
They got on it pretty easy, but once they got up to into the mountains and stuff, it
Couldn't
was
do
tough.
anything.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was the German armored divisions were really good at channeling. They were excellent at putting units against them into their firing ranges. I mean, they were just real good at not wasting the stuff. They had bracket. Well, that was the whole theory at D-Day. Was all the stuff out in the water was designed to channel, to put you into their firing positions, and then they just pound the heck out of it.
You know what you got?
Not all of it, but when I get back, I'll have time to. I think I have plenty of it. That's what I think.
You think you got
A
enough?
lot of those regimental histories are on the web. I've been told that.
I definitely know the 31st is on there, and it's a pretty big website. And in fact, I think I bookmarked 2 or 3 of them. I wasn't sure that was it, but I remember there is a 41 on the tombstone, right?
I believe it was.
Yeah, it's 40.
41st Armored
The second
Division.
and the
41st Infantry Division.
of the second armored.
That's right.
I mean, there are over of